Hi, I'm Shalane from TSC Tuition, and today I'll be talking about researching for your persuasive speech. If your school is anything like the ones that my students attend, it's probably speech season for you. So you need to research, obviously, the issue before you write your speech, and here are the things that I suggest you really pay attention to in your research. First of all, you need to define the terms of the issue. If you're doing, say, the sugar tax, you need to define for yourself, what do I mean by sugar, right? Is it like cane sugar? Is it syrups? Is it artificial sweeteners? Is it fruit sugars naturally found in food? Do I count, carbohydrates, which eventually break down into sugar anyway in our bodies? So you need to define for yourself these terms so that you're really clear on what you're talking about. And then you need to think about the parties involved, who's affected, how, and also who's making the decisions. Just bear in mind that the people who are affected by whatever decisions are made are not always the ones making the decisions, or even the ones who have an influence over the people who make the decisions. So you need to just clarify for yourself who is going to be affected and who gets to make those decisions, or who gets a say in that decision. The second thing or the third, I suppose, is past. What's already happened? Okay? What has been done already about this issue? There is no point to making a speech or giving a speech, arguing for something if that something has already happened. If the decision has already been made, your speech is pretty useless. Okay, so just keep in mind that, say, you're arguing for funding for an organization or something like that. If the budget has already been passed and money's already, in the process of being given out, there is no point to your contention that, the government needs to give more funding to XXX or organization, because it's just not possible at this stage anymore. So if you're really stuck on that issue and you really want to do it, but the decision has already been made, think about something that hasn't been decided yet in this issue and argue for that instead. Next is present. What's the plan? Is there a plan? Who's making the plan? And what's still unknown? If, for example, going back to that sugar tax example, if there is no plan, if they're just debating, right, so far, then that's great. Yeah, there's lots of unknowns that you could argue for and against, right? But you could also look at, say, what's been done in the UK already, where, it's on its way to being implemented. So you need to think about, okay, well, that's the plan over there. What's unknown about that is the outcome so far, because, it's very new, and so all the data is not back yet about, how that's transpiring over there. So it's you can't apply what's going on over there to what's going on over here in Australia. So you need to think about what's the plan, if there is a plan, what are the obstacles, and also what's unknown. And then lastly, you need to think about scenarios. What's the best case scenario for your issue, and what's the worst case scenario? And then out of that, you need to decide, well, where do I sit in this issue, right? Because the truth is, you could argue for a best case scenario for everybody. And, I'm not saying you can't do that. However, life is all about compromises. And when your contention acknowledges that there needs to be some sort of compromise between all parties, right, so that it's like a win-win situation for everybody, that's when you'll be most effective, and that's when your contention will be most persuasive. So my suggestion is always to think about what could happen, right? All the possibilities. What's the best case scenario? What's the worst case scenario? And then, pick a point in the middle and write your speech around that, and try and persuade your audience to come to that point of compromise where, it's fair and reasonable for most parties. So I hope you found that helpful. As always, if you'd like to get some one-to-one tutoring, you can always contact me via Facebook or the website, or even on YouTube. Like and subscribe to all the Facebook, YouTube, website sites to keep in touch. Thanks for watching.